The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
Navigate the gauntlet of uncertainty the world throws at your business with SAP. Whether it's a tropical storm hitting your warehouse or a short supply of those little plastic twist ties, SAP can help you tackle those unexpected crushing setbacks with its AI-powered capabilities. To pivot to new suppliers, automate paperwork, and source the twist ties you need at the price you want, so your business can stay unstoppable. Learn more at sap.com/uncertainty.
Welcome to Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy, a literary podcast where we deep dive into the writings of your favorite novels. This autumnish, we are hosting a book club while we prepare our 10-part literary analysis of Sarah J. Maas's Heir of Fire.
This is Jack.
And I'm Amy.
And each week we'll discuss one book from our autumnish book club roster. By using our literary backgrounds, we'll provide our flash analysis of each book as well as discuss listener thoughts. This week, we're discussing Blood of Hercules by Jasmin Mas.
The views expressed by the hosts are entirely their own and in no way represent the thoughts or intentions of the original author. This podcast is a discussion, shared to spark thought and conversation on the characters and themes of this novel. The interpretations presented in this podcast are just a few of many possibilities. Listeners are encouraged to read along and share their own analysis of the text.
Although the hosts mostly speak within the constraints of this book, series spoilers may be discussed with or without warning. Explicit language as well as themes of sex, violence, abuse, depression, self-harm, and death will recur throughout this podcast. Listener discretion is advised. If you're enjoying the podcast, please visit our Patreon for more exclusive content. You can find us at patreon.com/booktalkforbooktalk. We are here to talk about The Blood of Hercules. As always, hands up, tits up. Should I go or do you want to go? I have mine ready.
You should go first.
I think this book was written for me. Thank you.
Yeah. Love the blend of dark humor and mythology. More, please.
Yeah. So this one is a bit divisive.
Is it?
Yeah, I was looking at some of the comments. And
that's what I thought.
I will say, if you are listening to this and you are trying to decide whether or not to read it, I will start with check your trigger warnings.
Yeah.
I am genuinely surprised that this made it to traditional publishing. This is the kind of indie shit I love. You know what I mean? Like, it's dark romance. It's not as dark as it can be, but it's definitely a dark romance.
Absolutely. And it deals with dark themes. And you and I talked about this briefly, I think, at the gym.
Yeah. I love how often we talk about going to the gym on this. I want people to think that we're
gym
super
rats.
fit. Yeah. I mean, we are going tomorrow morning, so.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
But yeah, we talked about it at the gym. You said this is the darkest book we've ever covered.
I think this is the darkest book we've ever covered. Not that we have never read darker books. We certainly have. Yeah. But I think this addresses head on some of the darkest themes we've been willing to discuss. And granted, we did that with ignorance, by the way.
If I knew what this book was about, I would have read this a long time ago.
Yeah, same.
It's funny because I did not think that this book was that dark until I was reading people's comments on it. And then I was like, oh, right. We have different levels of what we think is dark and what we can handle. And I have dealt with like some straight up dark romance, like the kind that online people are like, this isn't dubious consent. This is just flat out non-consent. And I'm like,
Yeah. Are you sure?
Yeah. And I'm like, but like, So it really is divisive. It's funny because I'm also like, well, Hunger Games was super dark. Children were dying in that. It's a different type of dark.
Yeah.
And that is for sure. So we've already said our caution at the beginning of the episode. We've already said caution, check your trigger warnings on this. But I am going to kind of do a cautionary. We are going to be talking about self-harm, suicidal thoughts, consent, non-consent,
Child abuse.
like everything's on the table of what we're discussing. So I just kind of want to preface that now.
Yeah.
And that's just like, it's all on the table. So from here on out, just be prepared.
Yeah. And I had a feeling when we discussed this at the gym, because you were like, it's not that dark. I was like, I was like, your tolerance level is way, way higher than a lot of other people.
No, it's true. It's true.
So, yeah, I mean, I agree. It's not the darkest thing I've ever read. However, if I think about the 18-year-olds, or maybe not the 18-year-olds, but like if you are easily triggered, this is the book that's going to trigger you.
I don't want to say easily triggered because I don't want people who feel triggered by this to feel like I'm not easily triggered. I think the best way to say this is that everyone can handle different things. I personally cannot handle aggressive rape scenes. Like Hunting Adeline, this follow-up to Haunting Adeline, I couldn't do that. I can handle very questionable non-consensual things where you're like, she was asleep, she couldn't consent, but like she wakes up and she was chill with it. You know what I mean? So like I can handle that type of stuff. I can handle some other really dark things, but like I have my limits and everyone is right to have their limits. I will say if this is a limit, do not even approach some of the other stuff. Don't even go near some of the other dark things because I would call this dark romance light.
This is gateway dark romance.
This is gateway dark romance.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think there was nothing in here that was unpalatable to me.
Yeah.
But although I've never read is it Hunting or Haunting?
The first one is Haunting Adeline.
Okay, it's Hunting is the second one.
Yeah, Hunting was too much.
Yeah, I never read that one.
Did you read the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, I made you probably. I was like, do it.
Yeah, you did.
She gets fucked with a gun. It's amazing.
So.
Oh, no. Sorry, I think I just realized I said that in the voice note I sent to him. I don't say fucking with a gun.
You don't seem so confident.
No. At one point, I was like, oh, yeah, like I'm going to donate some of my books to the prison system. He's like, you kind of make a joke, like maybe you shouldn't donate all of them. And then I was like literally looking at my shelf. I'm like, oh, no, it's all okay. Oh, like one does use a gun in very questionable ways.
That's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, back to this. So, yeah, fucked with a gun. None of this was like too much for you.
No, not at all. Would I want my sisters to read this? I don't know. Not that I wouldn't want them to read it, but I don't know if they would be able to handle it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my gauge of like, do I think someone I view as naive or innocent, would they be able to stomach this? And the answer is no.
So I kind of like us starting this conversation with the trigger warnings because I think that when it comes to this book, you have a lot of trigger warnings that people could not like. And maybe someone is fine with the dubious consent. Maybe someone's fine with the bully romance. But people could be not okay with some of the thoughts of self-harm. Alexis is one of the most self-deprecating characters who wishes for death, who isn't even like remotely, like she's not even being like kind of funny. She's like, no, she straight up wants to die.
And it's constant. It never like ceases. She's always like, okay, I'm done. I opt out. Like, that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. Like, don't tease me with a good time. It's
yeah.
Like, she survived against her will, essentially.
Right. Well, and when you know her character and you know her circumstance, makes a lot of sense. I also would not want to live if I experienced her life.
But she wants to live or she feels like she has to live for her brother, her adoptive brother.
Exactly.
And that's another thing that like we could probably understand is like, damn it, I guess I'll live for you. I hate this. I don't want to do this anymore.
Right. But she feels not an obligation, but a duty that she takes seriously to do things to keep him safe. Also understand that. On top of all of this is the extreme, it's not extreme, what I would say is a little bit graphic detail of child abuse.
Yeah.
That I think would also really throw people off.
Yeah.
And rightly so. That's the thing that I was like, this is dark, right? And I understand your point that like, well, Hunger Games children die, but mainstream media has normalized Hunger Games.
Yeah.
And not all of it happens on screen, right? Only Rue happens on screen.
Only Rue happens on screen. And you're right. Like, I do respect that she doesn't show horribly graphic instances of child abuse. The memories, flashbacks, the scars, the residual trauma, she spends a lot of time there. She is in Jasmin and Alexis. But we do see enough to know that it's abusive. We do see that. But I think what she does really well is showing the lasting effects of that. Of that, just because they were, you know, it stopped when like the one parent died and the other one was arrested. Like that doesn't stop the trauma at all.
Right. Exactly. There are reasons why she doesn't ever want to be touched by anybody because she relives trauma every time she's touched. Makes sense.
Yeah. I fucking love Alexis. I think this is one of the funniest characters and the most unique humor.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah. What I really, really like about her, she's not your typical quintessential stabby female.
Yeah.
She's not even a reluctant hero. She's just reluctant.
Yeah.
And everything is miserable for her. And the humor that goes along with that is kind of tongue-in-cheek. And if you're not paying attention, you're not going to pick up on it. Like, X and Y happened. Somebody fell off their chair. Now I'm bleeding. You know, like...
I know. Just the, like, somebody cried. Me. It was me. Somebody... And then somebody passed out. It was me.
Yeah.
What I told you, remember the whale? Like, I was like, when you get to the whales.
Yeah. I forgot to text you.
I moaned the cry of my people.
Yeah. Which is what I say to my cats. I'm like, are you singing the song of your people?
Song of my people. Yeah. I think it was so refreshing because she's not a stabby female character. It was not, I'm going to stab you. Just like I'm going to kill you in your sleep. Just wait till I get to you. It is, I think you have it spot on. She's not a reluctant hero. She's not a reluctant. She's just flat out reluctant. She's not vibing anything.
Yeah. And she's not a hero either. She doesn't want to be where she is. It's actually counter to exactly everything she wanted, right? The reason for engaging in the Spartan merit test. She doesn't care about anyone around her or the outcomes of anything that she's being put through. She just wants to get home to her brother. And despite that, we see character growth.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that against her will. There is character growth. It's non-consensual character growth.
I think the best way I would describe her is a reluctant survivor.
Yeah.
She survived everything, right? I mean, when her father was arrested, adoptive father, foster father, when he was arrested and her mom was killed, her and her brother had to go make a little cardboard box home. They had to survive. She had to sell her intelligence and all of these different things in order to survive. And it's because of that reluctant survival that at the very end, still slightly reluctant, but she's just now at the end, she has embraced surviving. You know, now it's for revenge and it's to like, you know, bring some of the shit down. However, it's an acceptance of like, well, I'm going to do this. And I love that never happens during the trial.
Yeah.
During the crucible. During the crucible, it's completely and utterly her just like, how am I here? Somehow I'm smart and I'm beating everyone, but you know, why am I here? I love that she never gets that fire underneath her because it never would have been about her, right? It would not have been true to her. Like, she doesn't want to be there. She doesn't really want to live. The thing that makes her want to live is revenge and realizing how much has been taken away from her. And that makes so much more sense. And also coming to terms that she is a killer herself.
Yeah.
And then that makes sense to who she was at the very beginning of the book, right? When you compare the two.
Yeah. It's the only logical thing that she would do for herself.
Yeah. I actually would remember when I was, because we listened to this, which I highly recommend listening to this book.
Absolutely.
The narrator did a fantastic job. I can't wait to listen to it again. I'm upset we have so much more to do, but by the time this comes out, I think it'll be in October. No, end of September. Anyway, it's August 20th, yo. It is.
And the next book comes out October 28th.
So October is going to be such a good month.
It really is.
Taylor Swift, Chapel Roan tickets, Wet Lake tickets, my birthday, Florence and the Machine, this book.
Steamy Lit Conference.
Steamy Lit. Oh my God. Yes. We're going to eat this up. Anyway. Yeah, thank God that book is coming out. I don't know how I would have handled, and I don't know if it's not going to be a duology, is it? It's too good. I don't want it to be a duology. I want it to be forever.
Her other series, book 6, is coming out.
So excited.
In January. So, I mean, who knows?
And that one's Omegaverse.
I know. I want to go read it so bad.
She's a woman after my own heart. Like
we would be best friends with her.
Oh my God, I want to. Yeah, I mean, the fact that Alexis really did grow throughout the whole thing. I remember at the very end and her descent in depression, because how do you get a character who starts off not wanting to live, depressed, and having lost all hope? That's tricky.
Yeah.
To bring in a character who is literally only alive for the sake of her brother, no other reasons. How do you have her at the very end be a shell of herself, absolutely stripped of everything that she had left in her? How do you do that? And Jasmin did do that. And it's very subtle. I mean, I don't think it's too subtle. I think I can pinpoint exact moments, like the part when her and Helen were kidnapped. The fact that is a moment where she actually had power, where she was actually able. There was that moment where Alexis was the best version of herself, potentially, where she fought back, she survived, she wanted to live. And then she finds out about her power, and then she finds out about the engagement, and then it's all stripped away. So it's like you have this glimmer, this small glimmer there, and then it's all gone.
Right. Well, it's a small glimmer of autonomy. It's a small glimmer of agency. For the first time in her life, she has made a choice that she owns. Right? And then everything gets taken away from her again. Right?
Yeah.
Her independence gets taken away.
Yep.
The righteousness she feels from being able to act, because now her act is gruesome.
Yeah.
It's that of a killer. It's not noble. So,
I mean, even her parents are taken away to a degree, right? Like, she's just now reunited and now is immediately like, well, no, you don't get to spend any time with them. Yeah, now you're going to get married off and you don't get to live and heal somewhat. Like, she doesn't have to get married till she's 26.
Right.
She's got time.
Right.
Let her be with mommy and daddy. Was it the epilogue, the last scene?
It's the bonus chapter with Hades.
Oh my God. I love her. I love Jasmin. She's just laying on the floor depressed with her X's over her eyes. And then Hades was like, well, remember when I had a helmet with no eyes or ears or anything? And I was in it for a week?
Maybe she'd like that.
Yeah. And then it's like, she likes it. No, she doesn't like it. Thumbs up. And then he's hitting her on the head of, see, it works. And it's just like, oh God, I made 2 of them.
Which I love. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
And didn't really add to the story, but it added heart.
I can see why it was a bonus chapter, but it's also crushing thinking that was taken away from her.
Yeah, that she wouldn't have time to develop a relationship with parents.
Yeah, now it's going to be, see you on the weekends. Bye, mom and dad.
Yeah, which is super sad.
Yeah, so sad. Alexis, I will love you forever. Even with this new found rage inside her, I can't, just the fan fiction, Carl Gaust or something, the
mathematician or whatever.
Carl Gaust would never treat me this way. He would be a gentle and kind lover.
Well, and I think the whole point was the fact that he's celibate.
Yeah.
She believes in celibacy.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, it keeps coming back to it. We have to mention Nyx, her little snake sidekick, who is such a great counter to her. Like, not
Yeah.
only is she just a really funny character,
Mm-hmm.
but I think Nyx is important to almost be a sounding board.
Yeah.
Off of Alexis as well.
And a contrarian, too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because otherwise it would be too easy for this to be depressing instead of just dark humor.
Yeah.
But with Nyx, my favorite line from her is like, yeah, pussy power.
Same. Yeah, sister. Get it. Pussy power. Yeah. Free the pussy. Yeah, like it was so fucking funny. I mean, Nyx is everything that Alexis probably wished she could be in many ways. She's free. She's able to survive on her own.
Mm-hmm.
She's able to live her own life and kill whenever she wants, which is kind of funny because I'm sure that's what Alexis, like, you know, that's not what she wants at all.
Right.
But I love these side characters that still bring a lot to everything, because the colder it gets, the more Nyx has to hibernate or brumate. Is that what it's called? And that's because, you know, she's a snake. And the more alone Alexis ends up feeling, and more of a weight Nyx literally becomes, because she's just curled up around her sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And it is very interesting where the farther Nyx goes in her own, you know, hibernation, the more, you know, Alexis needs her. And again, you can see that descent happening into her own depression, where she ends up being alone. Yeah.
Yeah, such a good point. Yeah, I didn't even make that connection, probably because I was listening to it too fast, but that's a great point.
I mean, I just pulled it out now.
Oh, well, you did a great job.
Thank you. I was just, you know, I mean, that's what we do. We talk and you're like, you know what? Actually,
yeah,
there was a lot more to this.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I love that she ended up being Hercules.
I did too. I kept being like, when is Hercules going to come up?
Yeah.
It did not come up the way I thought it would.
Especially when she ended up being powerful, you know, and like was able to smash someone over the head with a chair. And it's like, oh, because she's strong, because she's, you know, descended from Hercules.
Yeah.
I was fooled. I was fooled into it.
I was too. It was the gender bender I did not realize I needed in life.
Yeah. It was a good plot twist. I think, I mean, we knew that she wasn't going to be Zeus's child.
Yeah.
We knew that. The fact that her eyes are so dark should have been the Hades clue, right? And then just the way that she kind of was, you know, very fascinated with Hades when she first saw him, maybe. What were there any other clues you saw?
No, I don't think so. But what was hilarious is the fact that from Alexis's point of view, she's in such denial, or she's just so obtuse, that when it's obviously her that people are trying to take care of, she's like, oh, they're just really worried about my mentors being able to become generals. And you know she's wrong.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I know that they're talking about you being chthonic rather than your mentors being chthonic, but I haven't figured out the puzzle. So it's like, Jasmin did a really good job walking the fine line of, I know you have figured out the twist.
Yeah.
And I'm going to lean into that, but I'm not going to give you the full information so I can twist it again.
Because I can see people being annoyed at like she's so dumb. No, everyone's talking about her. And it's like, one, she has not interacted with humans. I mean, they're all gods, but she hasn't interacted with people in general. She has Charlie, and then she stays the hell away from everyone else. This is the most interaction she has had with anyone ever. So
yeah,
I give her some leeway of like with her stupidity and not thinking that anyone would be concerned over her.
Well, yeah, because her only parents growing up abused her. No one else in her life has bothered to help her, Charlie, when they've been homeless for how many years. So, of course, her instinct is nobody cares about me, because nobody has cared about her.
Yeah, I mean, and also, why would she feel special just because she was selected? I mean, turns out her blood was, you know, oh no, you're Spartan. But it's also an inconvenience, right? It's not like because she's special. And also the term mutt, right? Like she's considered a mutt. So yeah, she's not human, but she's also second class within this system. And she didn't want to be there, so I can see her also not making the leap of like, well, you know what? I am special. People do want to look after me. I think it wouldn't have been honest or true to her character if she made those conclusions.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And to your point, it really was Jasmin dangling it, being for the reader. Like, it's for the reader for us to say, you stupid idiot. Like, of course you're Thonic. But yeah, the puzzle piece was just never there.
Yeah, which I love.
Yeah.
I thought she did a good job.
I'm really curious to see how, when I re-listen to it, if there's any kind of Hades clues. Because I bet they're subtle and I bet they're there.
I'm sure they're there.
I mean, the fact that all of the animals don't like her is supposed to be one. I don't know how that relates to her being Thonic because other Thonics are around. Is it a Hades thing? Oh, no, it's because she's a beast. That's what it is, right? Because her mother's part beast.
Yeah, and I think it's also because she just has this really volatile power.
Yeah.
That's how I interpreted it. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but I think if I go back, I'd be like, oh, it was there, or that's the one.
I will be coming back to this book.
Yeah, I will.
Immediately, Amy sent me an image and was, isn't this a pretty special edition? And I think in 30 seconds, I wrote back, just bought it.
Yeah, and I bought it like 5 minutes later.
Yeah, it was cool. It's now mine. It's being delivered on Monday.
Nice.
I'm really excited about it. Yeah, I don't know if I can wax poetics enough about this book, but this is one of those things where I love it. I don't think I could recommend it to people unless it's like, I know who you are.
Right.
Because we have a friend and I was like, oh, I loved it. And I was like, ooh, you should check your trigger warnings. I don't know if you'd like it or not. I don't think you'd like it.
I don't think she would either.
Yeah.
I don't think Nicole would either.
I think she would.
You think so? I mean, she's a dark humor person.
I told her it was a bully romance.
Uh-huh.
And that's a heads up. So maybe that's a segue.
Okay, let's do it.
Bully romance. I think this is your first bully romance in the traditional publishing world, outside of fan fiction.
Yeah, in the traditional publishing world. Yeah, I have read lots of it in fan fiction.
Yeah. There are two ways that reverse harems go.
Mm-hmm.
They are either instantly all obsessed with her and love her immediately, or they bully her. There is no in between.
Yeah.
They either hate her and want to kick her while she's down at every step of the way and then become obsessed with her, or they start off with, I want to marry you, please pick me.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get in betweens.
Nope. And this one is the latter, the one where they want to kick her while she's down.
Yeah, bully romance is not for everyone.
No, it's not.
It can also get annoying, and once I realized this was bully romance, I had to flip a switch in my brain because I was like, they really doing the big job of we hate you, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh no, because they're all going to fuck her. That's why.
Yeah.
Idiot. I didn't think of that. That's
the first time you get Augustus's point of view and he's like, she's so obnoxious. I just want to chain her to my bed.
I know. That's the dark bully romance. That's like, it's we're going to be punished 1 hour. Who's punishing who here? Sign me up, coach. What I do really like with this bully romance. Okay, so at this point, everyone who's listening, they love it too. They're on board, whether this is your first or not your first. It does make me miss some of the old bully romances, so I do want to see if I go back into it, dabble. It's not always my number one trope, but I like it when it's done well. But the fact that this leans into a reverse harem, what I was super surprised about this reverse harem is that it's 2 sets of guys against 2 sets of guys.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's not a normal.
And you don't really get whiff of it until the very end.
Yeah.
Which I love. It's a great setup for book 2. Like, I am so excited for that tension.
Yeah.
At first, you think it's just 2 guys, and oh no, they're going to come to blows. Nope, they're on the same team.
I know. They're so on the same team. They are very aligned on mutual goals. Yeah. I thought Petra and Artemis.
It's Achilles and
Petrus.
Petrus. The actual Greek name is Patroclus.
Okay.
I think. He was Achilles' lover.
Yeah.
In mythology. I think it's Patro.
Yeah, Patro. We have Patro. So let's review the players in this. We have Patro and Achilles, who are together. They are thonic. They're thonic.
They're thonic. They're called the Blood...
Crimson Duo.
The Crimson Duo. They're vicious killers and also gay lovers.
Yeah.
Beautiful scene in which we discover that.
I mean, like, she hints to it so early on, too, which I love, like, the way he's kind of tender to him and everything. And I thought there would be like, oh, for a second, I was like, okay, we got 4 dudes. Who wants to fuck her? You know, like, that's immediate. Like, when I saw it was reverse hair, and I'm like, are you going to sleep with her? Are you going to sleep with her? And then I was like, oh, are these just now her gay dads? Okay, so they're not interested.
Right, exactly, because they're her mentors, right? And they're reluctant mentors. Patro does not enjoy that process, at least at first.
I know, because reverse harem does not always equal why choose.
Yeah.
To me, why choose is 2 guys. Reverse harem, you need a harem. And that makes more sense. So you have these 2 guys versus Karen. I'm not going to try.
So she calls him Karen, but it's Karen.
Karen and Augustus. Yeah. Love the duo. It is really funny because with Petro and Achilles, I was definitely thrown to the end of that they were also interested in her. But then in hindsight, I was like, oh, they were letting her watch them go down. Like, they were letting her see that. No way she would have snuck up on that.
No, not at all.
And they kept having sex near her. I think that was like almost their
invitation.
Hey, do you like what you see?
Even if it was unconscious, right? Because Patro doesn't really necessarily recognize his own feelings at the end of the book.
Really? I thought he kind of recognized them.
He's more like, it's something to the effect of like, he didn't understand the stir of emotion in him. All he knew was they couldn't have her, essentially.
That's fair. Because he does kind of start proposing for her to be there at one point. You know, he kind of goes, hey, look, we were thinking about, and then it gets cut off.
Yeah.
Versus Karen and Augustus, who, dynamic duo.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I've never seen it look so dreamy.
Yeah, they are my Severus Snape and Draco Malfoy dynamic duo.
They really are. I mean, the fact that, and none of it can be taken seriously. That's what I love about this book is that, again, how this got in traditional publishing, I don't know, but I feel like we snuck it in. So now everything has to happen like this. But, you know, like he has his little raccoon buddy who's just like chewing on his hair the entire time, clapping.
Yeah, the trigger warnings are so real. Nothing else about this book is serious.
I know.
It is the epitome, to me, of dark humor at its finest.
Yeah. Oh, completely. Like this is, if you have a dark sense of humor, this is your book. This is your go-to. If you got that, you're fine with dark stuff and you got a dark sense of humor, then by all means. You never read Lights Out, did you?
Mm-mm.
And you also read Butcher and Blackbird. That one you did read.
I did.
It's funny because people consider that dark romance. And I'm just like, oh, no.
Only because it's gory.
Well, only because they kill people, and that's not...
Exactly. It's gory.
Just because you're a serial killer doesn't make it a dark romance. And also with Lights Out, my threshold is gone.
It's not a normal human's threshold.
It's really not. And it's also, I mean, and Lights Out was also like a light stalker. Like it was just really cute, really sweet. And people who read that, they're just like, I'm into dark romance. Not really. This is a good gateway. If you can handle this and you laugh at this and you're like, this is so unserious, there's so much more for you in the world, honey. You can, the world is your oyster. I can't wait for you to discover more. And then you get into it when it's not funny. Like, you know, then there's dark romance where you have all of the above minus the humor.
Yeah. And somehow you're still into it.
I know. What does that say about us?
We are tortured human beings who never had love in their life? Like, I don't know.
Don't bring me into your depressing analysis shit. All right. You know what? You're joining me to therapy with Julia tomorrow. That's
okay.
We're going to talk. We're all going to chat about this. Julia, Amy sent me into a spiral. I hope you're happy. You can pay that $30 copay tomorrow.
Sure, I'll pick up your tab for you. Plot twist, it's an ad break, but we promise it is still canon.
Amy, it is my time to shine because fall is in full swing.
All I want for fall are those big, soft sweaters that I can wear everywhere, but they are way too expensive.
Fortunately, Quince makes it easy to look polished, stay warmed, and save big without compromising on quality.
I love their elevated pieces that are just those go-to essentials for fall, including their 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters from $50. You can't get that anywhere else.
I got one of their cardigans last year. It was my favorite cardigan, and it's going to continue to be my favorite cardigan.
I have always wanted one of those giant wool coats, and I've never made the investment because they're so expensive, but I actually can get the quality that I'm looking for a decent price through Quince.
That's because by partnering directly with ethical, top-tier factories and cutting out the middleman, Quince is able to deliver luxury quality pieces at half the price of similar brands. It's the kind of wardrobe upgrade that feels smart, stylish, and effortless.
I love my 100% cotton button-ups that I've got for this summer. They were a perfect transition piece for summer to fall. Keep it classy and cozy this fall with long-lasting staples from Quince.
Go to quince.com/booktalk for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
That's QUINCE.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK to get free shipping and 365-day returns.
Quince.com/booktalk.
This show is sponsored by Liquid IV.
Summer might be over, but hydration is never over.
I need it more than ever now that it's back to school season.
Thank goodness for Liquid IV because that is what's getting me hydrated and ready for the fall.
Liquid IV is scientifically formulated to help replenish electrolytes and fluids lost from sweat or exercise.
3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, plus 8 vitamins and nutrients, all in a single stick.
1 stick of Liquid IV in 16 ounces of water is more hydrating than water alone.
Liquid IV has their new Liquid IV's Energy Multiplier Sugar-Free Hydration Energy. This is what I use daily.
It's 0 sugar, 3 times the electrolytes, and 9 essential vitamins for a sugar-free, crash-free boost.
The fact that it has natural caffeine, it's perfect for that jitter-free, sugar-free lift because you know how I react to caffeine.
And you know what? It comes in 2 amazing flavors. They have a sugar-free energy strawberry kiwi and the best sugar-free energy blackberry lemonade.
I had food poisoning this week, and I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you I had my Liquid IV in my giant tumbler, just sipping it, trying to stay hydrated, and I think it saved me.
It's scientifically formulated to support physical energy, hydration, focus, mood, and social stamina, or in Jack's case, food poisoning stamina.
Ditch the glitch with 0 sugar and 0 crash from Liquid IV.
Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with the code BOOKTALK at checkout.
That's 20% off your first order with code BOOKTALK. BOOKTALK at liquidiv.com.
As a kid, there was nothing more important than that next PlayStation game. My parents made us save for that stuff.
If only you had Acorns Early.
Yeah, because I had to carry cash, man. That's hard to keep.
Acorns Early is the smart debit card and money app that grows kids' money skills as they grow up.
If you're one of those parents who likes chore charts, you can start with in-app chores trackers and teach your kids the value of $1.
By doing that, it lets your kids set their own saving goals and start building healthy money habits early. I really wish I had something like this when I was younger.
I wish my parents made me do this now.
Actually, yes.
Kids can spend what they've earned with their very own customizable debit card, giving them that extra sense of independence.
Plus, with Acorns Early's spending limits and real-time spending notifications, you are always going to stay in control, parents.
Ready to teach your kids the smart way to earn, save, and spend? Get your first month on us when you head to acornsearly.com/booktalk or download the Acorns Early app. That's 1 month free when you sign up for acornsearly.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK.
Acorns Early Card is issued by Community Federal Savings Bank, member FDIC, pursuant to license by MasterCard International. Free trial for new subscribers only. Subscription fees starting from $5 per month unless canceled. Terms apply at acorns.com/early terms.
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Psst, healthcare pros, word's out, and it's too good to keep quiet. Look, LinkedIn is revolutionizing job hunting, making it possible to search by specialty, shift preference, and salary. Endless scrolling is out. Whether it's a mental health therapist or dental hygienist, finding the perfect role is faster and easier than ever. Head to linkedin.com/healthcare and start your search today.
It is funny how unserious this entire book is. But even through all the unseriousness, I still find a lot of heart because even though Augustus and Karen are both such bookmen, you know what I mean? Like they're such reverse harem bookmen. There's still a lot going on, right? Like Augustus is struggling with this idea of women need to be protected. You know, what about my sister? I need to protect her. And then Karen has his own...
He has his own history that's been alluded to that we don't know yet, but he recognizes the abuse.
Her trauma response.
Yeah, he recognizes her trauma response as something he's endured as well.
Yeah, like we know there's a history there. We know that there has to be more than why they're just attracted to her. And initially it starts off with, this is our way out. We don't have to be forced to marry anyone. We're going to force her to marry us instead. But then it does lead into true affection.
Yeah.
In the most pure sense of, you know, manipulating and forcing a marriage. Honest, pure love at that point. But we're kind of withheld at when that happens, right? Like we know Karen starts to stalk her with his hounds.
Yeah. So I want to talk about this structurally because I think she made some really interesting choices.
Yeah.
Partly because she probably knew that this was going to be a gateway book for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So we know Karen instantly becomes obsessed. Right? That's what we know if I'm not in chronological order, but in our reading order.
Yeah.
And then we know Augustus is like, I have to protect her because this is so dishonorable that they allow this to happen to a woman. Women should be protected and valued. And this is I don't want this to happen to my sister. It becomes a slippery slope, etc. And then we see them like do things that demonstrate care and affection for her.
Very, very classic bully romance.
Very classic, right?
Yeah.
To the point that you're at the end of the book. We know that they've proposed, even though Alexis doesn't realize it.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the book, while Alexis is spiraling, saying they used me, and we're like, no, they didn't use you. They really have feelings for you.
They like you, I swear.
And then we flash back to the beginning, and we learn that Karen picked her to get out of this marriage law. So what she assumes is actually the way it started, but we didn't know that as readers. And so we've been fooled into liking these shitty-ass men, and they were shitty to begin with. So Alexis is right, and we're wrong.
Yeah, it is really funny. I'm happy that you pointed that out because I think that if in a true bully romance and we were to get their point of view, we would get that
instantly
from the get-go. Instantly. Yeah. They're like, this bitch is, we're going to use her and we're going to show her and we're going to blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Horrible names to women type thing. And then we're like, no, he can change. And then he eventually falls for her. And that's the charm of a bully romance, right?
Right.
Charm is such a loose term, but that's the appeal of it, right? To your point, because this is a gateway book, she could not start with that.
Yes, agreed, 100%. Also, it makes the reader question their intentions all along.
Yeah.
And so we are now aligned with Alexis.
Yes.
Of like, oh, they did use you. Going into book 2, we're not going to be fighting Alexis. We're going to be on her side.
I agree. I didn't even think about that. Sorry, Alexis. I was immediately on board. I was like, give me the sex scene. No, to your point, it really is true where we know there's affection. There's a protectiveness. Protectiveness does not mean love, right?
Exactly.
And I don't think Alexis even knows that she wants love. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think the idea of, like, she has Carl Gaust in her head, and that's it. Like, I don't, like, she's never even entertained the idea of one day I'll get married and, or one day there'll be a man who I'm interested in. Her first kiss is a guy who kisses her without her consent when she's super tired. That's her first kiss. And she's like, all right, that was fine. Like, kind of upsetting, but like, whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's also not going to assume that they care for her at all.
No. And I just can't get over how smart it is to make us question these men as much as Alexis is by the end of the book, such that not only do they have to woo her in book 2, they're going to have to woo us again.
Remember that future Jack, okay? Remember that future me. They have to earn it.
They have to earn it.
You can't have a vacancy sign over your vagina saying, available, you know?
On sale.
Woohoo! For the low, low price of right now. I loved the slow burn. Also, she does warn at the beginning for the people who love a slow burn. Like, this is going to be a slow burn. It's going to pay off so much. I'm content with the blowjob scene and the eating her out scene. I'm happy. Like, obviously, I would like more, but
I was happy with the groping at the ball. I was like, woo, that's more than I thought of.
He pinched her nipples. I know, right? I was sold.
I was happy with the fact that Kieran, like, fisted his shaft from his point of view.
I know.
The fact that we actually got them eating her out at the end of the book, I was like,
thrilled. This is a treat.
I was like, that is like heroin to my veins, like so intense after the slow burn.
The scene of the three of them dancing, I imagined it like an anime scene where you can't really see their feet moving, but you can, like, they're all pressed together and you can't see the logistics, but they're just kind of gliding around.
Yep. The world is blurry around them.
Yeah, that's exactly how I imagined it.
I did too.
I need to ask Jasmin, is that how you imagined it? Because that's how I do. Like, it's just a blurry world of nipple pinching and dancing and
3 characters just gliding.
Yeah, just gliding around each other, you know, not letting her go no matter. And there's going to be a lot of dubious consent in the next book. I can
feel it.
If she buttered you up for this book, then she's going to be like, you've entered my world.
Welcome.
There's going to be a lot of forced orgasms that she's not going to be happy about. And I'm going to be sitting there just like the raccoon going, ooh, I'm so excited. Okay. Shall we look into some Instagram?
Yes.
All right. Should we go into what they don't like and then what they do like?
Sure. Let's start with don't likes.
All right. Let's defend our book.
I mean, I was just more like, we have to balance out our glee.
I know. I took a gander and there is so much about, like, there's a lot that people do not, like, this book isn't for them. All right. Someone says weird pacing. Story seemed to stray in odd directions. What do you think about that?
Yeah. So I completely understand what they're saying in the sense that when Alexis is in the crucible, time bleeds.
Yeah.
And she just, like, loses consciousness. One moment bleeds into a day later and she doesn't know what's happened because she's just so exhausted. I think that's completely understandable why someone would find that difficult to follow.
At one point, I was trying to find the traditional structural beats, right? Like the inciting incident, what's the midway point, what's the climax, what's the thing, like the who's threatening her. It's a little bit of a dangle, you know, not a lot, but it's enough of a dangle. It was written very much, and this is not a bad thing. This is like, you know, fan fiction, Wattpad. Like, this is, it's, you know, giving me online indie book, you know, where you can kind of, you know, meander. But I felt like for what it could have been, she tightened it up, if that makes sense. Where I'm like it could have wandered even more.
I completely agree. Even though Alexis wasn't coherent.
Yeah.
The story felt coherent to me, but I can understand and appreciate that that's not maybe the case for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for things that people didn't like, another one is the style of writing took me a long time to acclimate to. Okay, understood. It's a acquired taste.
It really is an acquired. And I don't know how it would have been like reading this book versus listening to it.
Yeah, I'm very curious once I get the physical book what it would be like to read.
I'm not opening that book. It's too pretty. I'm going to get it on Kindle.
Also a good choice.
Yeah. The lack of smut for a reverse harem. Fair, but the payoff is going to be so good.
So we have one listener who sent 4 comments, so I'm going to read all 4 of them.
I can see them. Go ahead.
I haven't finished, but this feels like a bully romance, and I'm not a fan. Very loose interpretation of Greek mythology. Author used names and almost nothing else. They know she's an, quote, abandoned mutt, but assume she's spoiled and knows Spartan culture. The Thonics are so dumb. It's more than a bad miscommunication trope.
You know, this book isn't for everyone, and that's okay. You know what's funny is that the author actually has I think, like, either a master's, but she has a degree in Greek mythology.
I love the spin that she did on Greek mythology.
Yeah. I think that the spin on it is like, what does it look like in the future? It's 2090. They're back. What does it look like?
Yeah.
So it's not going to be exactly like
Yeah.
everything, like everyone else would. It's not going to be verbatim. It's going to be a take on it. Maybe I don't know enough about Greek mythology to be asking for more, but I felt like the hierarchy, it was all right. The lore was all correct.
Yeah, not necessarily. Like, I understand what this listener is saying in that it's just a bunch of names. In some ways it is. Like, yes, it's broken out correctly, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But Hercules was technically the son of Zeus, not
Yeah.
Hades and Persephone, right? Achilles and Patroclus, they die in a war and Patroclus dies first. And like, there's a bunch of mythology that isn't correct, but the pairings are correct. And it's just the dynamics are correct. It's not word for word the mythology, which is what I like about it, because we have so much that tries to mimic the original mythology that this is, to me, a refreshing play on the mythology.
Completely agree. I thought like naming her Hercules was not her being the legend of Hercules that we know. I felt like the Hercules we know probably exists and this is just a name they chose, like Taylor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the characters that we know. I think I would love to figure that out if it's these are, the Achilles. Well, they're just named after Achilles. He's not actually Achilles. You know what I mean? Like that would be interesting if how that interpretation is happening and how that goes. But I found it to be a unique, fun way. The idea that she's an abandoned mutt and that they're mad at her for being spoiled and everything. That's part of the bully romance charm, all right? Because at one point, they're going to realize how tragic her background is, and then they're going to feel angry and want to protect her.
And they're going to feel so guilty for how they treated her.
Yeah, like when they see her in the cardboard box, and they're like, we're going to have a talk about that. I'm going to have to kill anyone who was in the way. Or, when they're getting married and they see the scars on her arms from where, there was self-harm, and like that moment of, oh my God, maybe she had it so much worse than I had. I'm going to feel so guilty now for having treated her so horribly. That's part of the charm of a bully romance, baby.
And some people don't find it charming, and that's okay.
It's just the like eating their words. That's the if you like a man who eats his words. If you like a man who regrets things.
I love making men shove their feet into their mouths. Like,
I did that last night.
You did.
I did. I told my mom, I was like, yeah, out of all the 12 men, I went to a speed dating thing. I was like, out of all the 12 men, I only argued with one. And I think that's really good.
Actually, it is.
Yeah. She was like, oh, you did so well. I'm like, no. That speaks well of the men. I would have fought with more if they deserved it. Okay. Someone else says, and we're still going through the negatives, pacing felt off. Alexis's naivety, plus the villain twist wasn't believable. Plot holes. I mean, again, we talked about the pacing. I can understand that. Alexis being naive, I think that's genuinely the most believable thing of the book is her. She's so sheltered. She lived in a cardboard box. Even Nyx was like, I blame myself. I didn't bully you enough. Like, I sheltered you too much.
Yeah.
Even though I think there's something to be said that just because someone's gone through trauma doesn't mean they're not naive to the world.
Right. Exactly. Especially if she's kept herself cut off from the world.
Yeah. Someone says they gave away the ending with the blurb. I didn't read the blurb.
Who she is isn't really learned until like 90% in. I didn't read the blurb either, but that's
on us not paying attention. Yeah. So, moral of the story. Extreme chosen one trope, her sense of humor, how relationships develop. What do you mean her sense of humor was in a negative?
You're offended because it's your sense of humor.
At one point I was imagining this where I was like, if I had a different brand of depression, because my depression is bipolar and that's just a different brand. If I had a different compound maker, I feel like I would ended up being a lot more similar to her. And even in my times when I have been depressed, not as depressed as I've been during like bipolar lows, but I've been like pretty down. It does turn into that. Like, it very much is like her narrative. Man, if you don't like Alexis's humor, you guys, it's me and Amy's too. Don't let her trick you.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That is our humor.
The entire time I was listening to this, I was like, should I make my Pride and Prejudice book first person and make Elizabeth this level of narrator? Because that would be fucking hilarious.
The entire time was just like, oh, Amy would say that. Oh, I would say that.
Yeah.
Oh, neither of us would say that, but I love that she's saying that.
Yeah, I want to steal that.
I want to steal that, yeah. Oh, boy, if you don't like her humor, I'm sorry. How are you listening to the podcast? Have you not gotten tired of us?
The ending scene didn't feel very consensual to me and left a bad taste in my mouth. Sorry.
It gets so much worse. She was awake, guys. That's pretty good.
It can get worse, yeah.
It can get, like in the dark romance space, it gets so much worse. And again, if that was enough that you're like, ooh, that didn't feel right, I felt icky with it.
Avoid all dark romance, yeah.
Well, don't read the second one. Like, dark romance isn't your thing. It's not for everyone. I don't want to shame people because, again, there's like some romances that I don't do.
Yeah.
I will not do Hunting Adeline. That's not my jam. Know your limits. And limits are okay. Don't let anyone shame you into having limits. All right, let's read some things people liked. As a lifelong Percy Jackson fan, I did enjoy this. Felt like a lovely Grecian hero reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, if you like, when I was pitching it to our friend Nicole, I was like, bully romance, reverse harem, Greek mythology in the future, extreme self-deprecating, hilarious heroine.
Yeah.
If you can get on board with that.
Yeah. Honestly, Randall could read this and he would enjoy it.
I feel weird knowing that he'd be reading a spicy scene. He should not have to. His eyes should be shielded. His pure eyes should not see such things. Love the internal monologue. Same, sister. That's what the Nick says. Same, sister. Sorry.
What?
I read someone and I took that note too. A man is talking, so I stopped listening.
I love that. Alexis is smart, funny. Her internal monologue matches the maturity level I expect of a 19-year-old. Also, her trauma response and coping skills are believable and reiterated throughout the story. Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, consistency was golden.
Consistency. The way they depicted her trauma response was so accurate. It was so on brand for who she is and was very much a progression of everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, someone did not put their dislike into the like section. Someone said DNF'd it, couldn't get into this book, really struggled being in the FMC's head. Yeah. Being in the FMC's head's not for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Best I can say is I was never bored during the insanity. Also, actually, the fact that the men were dating each other too, true poly relationships. I did appreciate the poly representation.
Whenever I read a reverse harem, I'm always like, I could do it.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
I could not handle it if another woman was involved. Murder would be then involved.
Obviously, I don't have that problem.
I know, different things, but I feel I could balance many men. I don't know. I would just be like, I love reading reverse harems where it's a couple of the guys are together. Like some of my favorites are when two of the guys together and one of the guy isn't, but he's also like totally down for the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like there's like dynamics and I am a fan of those. Could I play that out? No, I need to be worshipped by everyone. And this is why I can't do poly, because it's still not poly. It's a cult. Are you dedicated to the cult? Like, are you poly? No, but you can worship me. You can all be my husband.
I think we covered it all. There weren't that many likes.
There weren't that many likes in there. That's unfortunate. Maybe this was a lot shorter. I was prepared for this to be like a 3-hour episode.
I think that it's hard to analyze this without going back for a second read, because I think so much of it is about enjoying the narration that you can't actually dig deeper until you've gotten through and you know exactly what's going to happen.
Reading this felt like when you're watching a funny movie and you're scared to laugh because you're missing the jokes that are happening.
Mm-hmm.
I know I missed some jokes because I was cackling out loud. You know, every time she mentioned surveillance birds, you know, every time that she had these funny one-liners, I know I was busy thinking about it and replaying it, that I'm not capturing other things. And humor is a defense mechanism for Alexis to survive.
Yeah.
It's working. We are in her head. It's a defense mechanism. So we're not taking in what's happening around her. We're busy being distracted by the humor. Do another read of this, and I have no doubt that we'll see the other layers of shit going on.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I think is important, not only the humor and the distraction of humor, it's distracting for Alexis too, to be in her own head, right? Because she's thinking so much about how she doesn't want to be here. She doesn't pick up on social cues.
Yeah.
She doesn't bother to learn the social cues. And so I think it's not surprising that we struggle the same way that she struggles with the interactions.
I think there's also a level of self-awareness too that people might be uncomfortable with, because as innocent as she is, as much as naive as she is, there is a fair amount of self-awareness. Like, she knows that she can't curse and she's actively trying to curse. And it's a joke, right? It's a joke that she's like, frick you. And even in her head, she can't even say it out loud. And when she does, she's like, dick. Oh my God.
Yeah, look at me.
Yeah, I mean, this is awesome. Or like, I'm now in my emo phase, right? Like she's wearing a skull sweatshirt. All of those are really funny. However, they're also so aware of her own depression and like she's trying to cope with it with the humor. And she also is recognizing her own limitations. Like, it's funny, like, oh, she can't curse. That's hilarious. But it's also sad. It's sad because she also, like, we haven't even, okay, here's a great one that we haven't just like dived into. The amount of Catholic guilt that she has. The religious guilt that she has coursing through her.
Yeah.
I resonated, you know, you were raised Catholic, raised any kind of conservative religious background, conservative background in general. And you can just hear, she keeps talking about Father John is going to send me to hell. You know, oh, Father John would say that this is for demons, you know. Again, these are funny one-liners, but it's also religious trauma of like the one kind of moral guide in her life is, you know, impacting trauma.
Well, and that's such an interesting narrative, too, that I struggle with because of circumstances in my own family, but like foster children being forced into a religion that maybe it doesn't align with their heritage.
Yep.
And being conditioned to believe something that, had they been in different circumstances, they would have never been exposed to.
Yeah.
And I struggle with that. Just even with my own sisters, right? You know, and them being full-blood Chinese and them being subjected to a religion with people who devalued them.
Yep.
So I think that there is actually a lot of interesting commentary that is not obvious about these things, and a lot of commentary on the foster system in general.
Yeah.
Because there is a history of people taking advantage of foster children to reap the benefits from the state, right?
Yep. And I know we have this, this idea that at 10 years old, they go and live or 11 or 12, they go live in cardboard boxes and no one does anything. I know it's almost comes off as not tongue in cheek, but oh, that's so ridiculous. Not really.
Not really.
The system today doesn't care about kids. There are so many kids that are being abused that I don't want to say people can't do anything about it. The government doesn't care enough to do anything about it. And there is a narrative there behind that. And the fact that she was raised in a religion that she was forced to be raised in, and then is now said, okay, well, you're actually this other chosen one situation that goes against everything she believes in now, or whether she believed in it or not is what she was raised in. And then what does that do to the psyche of shit, now I really am one of these horrible.
I'm a heathen.
Yeah. She's I really am a heathen. And all of that. And even though she kind of makes these funny quips about Father John, these funny quips about religion, it still guided her moral compass enough that she's spiraling at the idea that she accidentally killed people.
Yeah.
I think that says a lot about a person when you're able to say, wow, I'm shocked. I didn't mean to kill them. Because immediately as a reader, we're you didn't mean it, babe. That's fine.
Yeah.
You were, your stepmom was abusing you. The only real mistake was the one who was swimming. You didn't mean to do that, but it was a mistake. Everyone else kind of deserved it. But at the same time, she feels guilt for all of the lives that she's taken. It doesn't matter who. She feels horrible guilt about what she did to her foster mom. And I think there wasn't any nuance that was allowed in her upbringing.
Yeah.
To understand. Self-protection, self-preservation.
Yeah.
There's a lot more heart to this.
There is. There is a lot. And again, I think it deserves a second read.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would probably want to read it so I could delve deeper. But the narrator is so good, you guys.
The narrator is so freaking good. I am going to get this on Kindle. I think that's a must because...
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
If we didn't have 3 books to finish this week... Wait, no. 2.
Just 2.
That's still no, still 2 books. That's all. That's fine.
I mean, we're almost done listening to the other one.
Yeah. Blood over Brighthaven. Pretty excited for that one. And then we have a special interview. I think the interview will have already been out by the time this comes out with Tracy Wolf.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So we're busy, guys. We're just
very busy.
plugging along, trying to survive. Meanwhile, hunting down Jasmin. It's so frustrating because she is coming to the Rip Bodice and tickets sold out.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any events where the tickets have sold out.
Really?
Other than, with Rip Bodice, we've gotten to everything we've wanted to go to.
True. No, Rebecca Yaros. But that's different.
Yeah, that's different. And then they did a second time, and then we were able to do the other time.
Yeah.
No, I'm very spoiled. I've gotten to go to every book event I've wanted to. And I will with this one.
Yeah. I think we just reach out again.
We will get our way. Damn it. Jasmin, I don't know if you know us, but we'd get along with your character. So in theory, we'd get along with you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy. We encourage you to rate and subscribe to our show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Stick around next week where we discuss Blood over Brighthaven by M.L. Wong.
We would love to hear your thoughts based on today's conversation. If you would like to submit your take on any of the books we plan to discuss later this autumnish, please be sure to follow us on Instagram where we ask for listener submissions.
If you're enjoying the podcast, please visit our website, booktalkforbooktalk.com, to view our latest merch and learn about supporting the show through Patreon or Venmo. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube at the handle Book Talk for Book Talk.
Bye.
Bye. Amy, it is my time to shine because fall is in full swing.
All I want for fall are those big, soft sweaters that I can wear everywhere, but they are way too expensive.
Fortunately, Quince makes it easy to look polished, stay warmed, and save big without compromising on quality.
I love their elevated pieces that are just those go-to essentials for fall, including their 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters from $50. You can't get that anywhere else.
I got one of their cardigans last year. It was my favorite cardigan, and it's going to continue to be my favorite cardigan.
I have always wanted one of those giant wool coats, and I've never made the investment because they're so expensive, but I actually can get the quality that I'm looking for a decent price through Quince.
That's because by partnering directly with ethical, top-tier factories and cutting out the middleman, Quince is able to deliver luxury quality pieces at half the price of similar brands. It's the kind of wardrobe upgrade that feels smart, stylish, and effortless.
I love my 100% cotton button-ups that I've got for this summer. They are a perfect transition piece for summer to fall. Keep it classy and cozy this fall with long-lasting staples from Quince.
Go to quince.com/booktalk for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
That's QUINCE.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK to get free shipping and 365-day returns.
Quince.com/booktalk.
This show is sponsored by Liquid IV.
Summer might be over, but hydration is never over.
I need it more than ever now that it's back to school season.
Thank goodness for Liquid IV because that is what's getting me hydrated and ready for the fall.
Liquid IV is scientifically formulated to help replenish electrolytes and fluids lost from sweat or exercise.
3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, plus 8 vitamins and nutrients, all in a single stick.
1 stick of Liquid IV in 16 ounces of water is more hydrating than water alone.
Liquid IV has their new Liquid IV's Energy Multiplier Sugar-Free Hydration Energy. This is what I use daily.
It's 0 sugar, 3 times the electrolytes, and 9 essential vitamins for a sugar-free, crash-free boost.
The fact that it has natural caffeine, it's perfect for that jitter-free, sugar-free lift because you know how I react to caffeine.
And you know what? It comes in 2 amazing flavors. They have a sugar-free energy strawberry kiwi and the best sugar-free energy blackberry lemonade.
I had food poisoning this week, and I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you I had my Liquid IV in my giant tumbler, just sipping it, trying to stay hydrated, and I think it saved me.
It's scientifically formulated to support physical energy, hydration, focus, mood, and social stamina, or in Jack's case, food poisoning stamina.
Ditch the glitch with 0 sugar and 0 crash from Liquid IV.
Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with the code BOOKTALK at checkout.
That's 20% off your first order with code BOOKTALK. BOOKTALK at liquidiv.com.
As a kid, there was nothing more important than that next PlayStation game. My parents made us save for that stuff.
If only you had Acorns Early.
Yeah, because I had to carry cash, man. That's hard to keep.
Acorns Early is the smart debit card and money app that grows kids' money skills as they grow up.
If you're one of those parents who likes chore charts, you can start with in-app chores trackers and teach your kids the value of $1.
By doing that, it lets your kids set their own saving goals and start building healthy money habits early. I really wish I had something like this when I was younger.
I wish my parents made me do this now.
Actually, yes.
Kids can spend what they've earned with their very own customizable debit card, giving them that extra sense of independence.
Plus, with Acorns Early's spending limits and real-time spending notifications, you are always going to stay in control, parents.
Ready to teach your kids the smart way to earn, save, and spend? Get your first month on us when you head to acornsearly.com/booktalk or download the Acorns Early app. That's 1 month free when you sign up for acornsearly.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK.
Acorns Early Card is issued by Community Federal Savings Bank, member FDIC, pursuant to license by MasterCard International. Free trial for new subscribers only. Subscription fees starting from $5 per month unless canceled. Terms apply at acorns.com/early terms.